Bendapudi, Julie Gallagher from Penn State Brandywine. Thanks for giving us a chance to ask questions. The beauty and the challenge of a university as large as Penn State is to keep track of all the different dimensions and what the experiences are like from those of us at different corners of it. And I'd like to share with you for a moment the view from the campuses and Brandywine. There's deep concern, profoundly, almost historically low morale. I've been here almost 20 years. I've never seen it like this. And many rumors circulating about campus closures. And so I'm going to ask you directly, are there campuses slated to be closed? And if so, what is the criteria being used which decide which campuses and what is the timeline? And I have a couple of subsidiary questions, but the very first question is really addressing the deep levels of concern and fear, and also the number of rumors that are circulating. Are there campuses slated to be closed?
I am going to have Margo begin, and then I will go ahead and expand on that if I may, Julie. Margo?
Sure. Thanks, Neeli. Just want to make sure that you can hear me. Yes. Okay. We are in very challenging times. We know that. We've been working, as you just heard Sarah's presentation, on trying to address operating in a new budget model, which is activity-based. Higher ed is in a challenging time, specifically regional campuses across the country around enrollment trends. And this is something that we continue to struggle with at our campuses. Student success and the student experience is the central decision-making and guiding light that we use to make decisions around what we do for the future. And we are actively looking and working to synthesize inputs from the collaborative planning sessions that our campus is engaged in the fall, where we gathered regional feedback. We had over 150 attendees who attended these future state sessions. We are getting data, as you heard earlier from Daniel, around academic program and portfolio review, which is giving us continued information, a wealth of information and insight into the types of things we can and should be doing across our university. And we're looking incredibly carefully at the enrollment data. And this is 10-year projections from a historical standpoint, very specifically by campus, by region, but then looking at the external data. What are the projections out to 2030 for enrollments, looking at numbers of students in kindergarten, looking at numbers of students who are graduating, looking at these demographic trends that many of our counterparts across the country are struggling with in similar situations. So what is clear to us as a result of looking at all of this is that our current campus ecosystem, which we know was created decades ago when things were very different in higher education, it's not sustainable in its current the way that it's operating, the way that it looks currently. So we are looking at a number of ways to think about the best path forward. We're exploring creative avenues to keep our campus ecosystem vibrant, looking at economic and workforce development hubs, applied research and community impact hubs, establishing dual enrollment pathways, thinking about how we can partner with ourselves to build capacity. And I just want to let you know that we are committed. This is, as I said, I am, we talked about change management when we opened this and how stressful change is for people. This is an incredibly, for the leadership, for OVPCC leadership, we are just committed to continuing to serve our students and to the Commonwealth in the most effective ways possible, but also understanding that we are really looking at challenging landscape ahead of us. And so I just want to share where we are. We're looking at data. We're not taking decisions lightly that we have to make, but we're also operating within the current realities of the day that we're in right now and looking at how we create a sustainable ecosystem for the future.
I do have a follow-up, but President Bendapudi, you said you were going to join in on that. So I'm wondering if...
Certainly happy to. I agree with what Margo said. We know that we have to evolve. We know we have to adapt. And the sense of uncertainty, as we heard, when there are changes that are happening, I can imagine is very high. One of the things that I ask again is that we are deeply committed to the student experience. We're deeply committed to our people. So as we engage in this, we will continue to have conversations and continue to think about how can we do this in a way that sets Penn State up for success and our people, our faculty, staff, our students for success for the long term.
May I follow up? So, in asking our campuses slated to close, it seems to me that to tease out the answer, it's probably. I don't think any of us are deluded by an optimistic picture in higher education, for sure. But in terms of recruiting students to our campuses right now, can we ethically continue to recruit students to what they understand as the existing program structure with the existing people who are delivering those programs? And do we halt enrollment, recruitment to our campuses because the future of the particular model that we have right now, as I hear you, Margo, is no longer sustainable? So how can we ethically recruit students to programs that are very clearly under major change? And, you know, given the enrollment picture, it would be most honest to people. And I'm begging you, please be clear with us. When our campus is going to close, so people know, like, I'm on the tenure track line. Do I buy a house? Do I not buy a house? Do I put my kids in the school system? Do I not put my school system? Like, these are people's lives, and they're so profoundly committed to our students. I can't tell you, but we cannot live with this level of low morale and uncertainty. And so it would be so helpful to have a clear answer. I realize there's so much uncertainty, but the more we have, the more we can work together. And to recruit students into a universe that is so deeply cloudy just doesn't feel appropriate at this point. So thank you.